We're back. So today, like the video says, we're doing some beginner-friendly makeup. This is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. They do say it's a dupe or kind of a dupe for the Tatcha. I've already had a glass of wine. They do say it's a dupe for the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. I cannot attest to that because I've never tried that primer. When I'm picking out a foundation shade, I typically like to go darker rather than lighter. It's much easier to fix a darker foundation with like a lighter concealer than to try to fit a foundation that's too light. This stick foundation by Milani, I really like. It blends out super seamlessly and easy. Make sure you're getting into the hairline. You don't want to look like you have a mask. Go over your ears a little bit. I had a lot of going back and forth about which concealer I wanted to suggest to you guys as like a beginner-friendly makeup concealer. Really love is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh concealer. I typically use two concealer shades. So the first shade I have in this ColourPop concealer is Dark 175. Make sure you get under your nose area, like right here above your lip. Blend her out, and I like to start at the edges just so that I can control how far out I'm spreading my concealer. Once I make my way in here where I want majority of my coverage to be, I just kind of start pouncing so that the coverage stays right here under my eyes in this inner corner area. Boom, concealed. Okay, so then the other shade I have here is Dark 145. She's a little bit lighter. These are the two shades, so you see the difference in color. So put her right here, this inner corner area. I want her to be a little bit dark or lighter. So when I highlight my forehead, I start with the darker shade first, and then I bring the lighter shade in here. So there are two different things I'm going to use to set. First, I'm going to use this Black Radiance Soft Focus Finishing Powder. This is a super easy, inexpensive powder. I'm only going to use this to set in areas where I have not applied concealer because we have done all that work to lighten and brighten, and you know, I've tried a lot of setting powders, and I will honestly say I always, time and time again, come back to the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. The only setting powder that I've used that doesn't make me look cakey or dry under my eyes. Make sure you go under with your beauty blender, whatever you're using to blend out under your eyes, and just pat again so that you make sure you're getting out all the creases, because if you set that crease in place, she's gonna be a crease forever. This is me baking. If you don't want to bake, you definitely don't have to use as much. I'm just gonna apply it anywhere I applied concealer to set it. I'm just gonna drag it down the nose. She looks crazy, that's okay. I just bake for a little while. We're here for a good time, not a long time. This is the Rihanna or the Fenty bronzer. The shade I use is Chocolate, but I would just say get something that's maybe like 1 to 2 shades darker than you. With a bronzer, you want to start the concentration of color like right here, like in this triangular area. Should be darkest up here and fade out down here. So I kind of just like beat it in up here, and then you can start to drag it down. There you go. Snitched. I like this pencil. It's not a super precise pencil, but I like it because it's chubby and it's thick. It allows me to like cover more area. There is a powder side to go fill it in with. So I'm taking the two shades I was using before for concealer, and I'm just putting it on the back of my hand, and I'm using a flat brush like this, and I'm just gonna go underneath my brows. There you go. So your brow is a little bit more defined. Now I feel like my setting powder is set on my nose for long enough. I'm just gonna go in with some concealer on my lid. You can use an eye primer or a concealer, whatever you want. I personally feel like a concealer, to me, does the same thing as an eyeshadow primer. For the video, I'm gonna be using this Milani shadow. I'm only gonna be using the brown shade. Start by blending this out in my crease. I'm gonna add a little bit more right here to the outer corner because I just want it to have like a lot of definition right there and a lot of depth. Let me stop. This is not blended in. I used to walk out with some looks like this. So what we're gonna use for our lid shade is a highlight. This is the Yoma Notting Hill highlight. She's a pretty golden girl, and ooh, also she smells good. This is like my favorite eyeshadow brush. She's flat, she's stiff, she's dense, so she can pack a mean punch. You want a shadow brush that can pack on the powder. Yes, the eyeshadow, you get what I'm saying. When you do it with your finger, do you see that gold sheen, baby? You can always get a better sheen, and like if you want a more foiled metallic look, go in with your finger. We're gonna take our same brush we had before. I'm not putting any additional product on it, and I'm just blending out up here. This is like my go-to like look. It's usually a brown crease, some shimmery on the lid. Boom, we done. Now we're gonna do eyeliner, which I find is like something a lot of people struggle with. I struggle with it for a long time, and it's hard. It's hard. I'm not gonna show you a wing liner. I'm just gonna say it outright, girl. If you've never done a wing liner, just leave it alone for right now, okay? And build your way up. I like this eyeliner by Wet n Wild. This is the skinny tip eyeliner, and I like it because it's so small. Ooh. And if you feel like your hand's about to just shake, just remove your hand from the situation. Just take it out. Okay, boom. Eyeliner done. I just tent lined my eye. So you don't have to drag it out to a wing and all that stuff, but you can still get like that look of the liner that you want. I go in with a little bit of setting powder right underneath. And I just let it sit there for like the remainder of me like doing my makeup. Okay, we're done. So she's gonna sit there for the rest of the time. Mascara I'm using is the Milk Makeup mascara. I'm sorry, you won't learn how to apply your lashes on this channel because it's not my ministry. We're gonna knock her off, you know? And that just like gives you a little extra, you know? So my favorite lip liner of all time is a Jordana Easy Liner for Lips, and the shade that I prefer is Coco Loco. For my top lip, I kind of like to overline in the name Beyonce. I don't know if y'all have ever noticed or paid attention, but our good sis does like an overlined lip. The e.l.f. Seriously Satin Lipstick in Nectar. We're gonna put on some blush. Maybe like a week ago, you can pay me to put on blush, but now I like some blush. This is the Fenty Cream Blush. The shade I have is Daiquiri Dip. I kind of just drag it up. I don't like it to sit just on the apples. So we're just using a bit of pink. And just so that it doesn't look so stark, I like to drag her up a little bit. So the gloss I'm gonna use is the Fussy Gloss. I feel like this is like one of the best shades of the Fenty gloss. You can also get the clear, any type of gloss really. You don't have to spend a lot on your gloss. So then I take my fan brush. I'm still using the same highlight, the Yoma highlight. I love a nose highlight though. That's as much as I will put on my cheeks. So it's kind of like highlight, blush, bronzer. It's a trio and a trifecta. beginner friendly makeup tutorial, talk through, walk through, what you want to call it. I don't know. It's not necessarily to me about like what the cheapest product is, but more so about like what are you going to get your money's worth out of, and what do you have to work less with. Because really, you can buy cheap makeup, that's all great, but some makeup you have to work a little bit more to get the look that you want. This makeup that I showed you today is really easy, and once you get it down, like, you can interchange these colors, these shimmers. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.